Hey y'all, I was asked by one of my subscribers to share how I store my seeds. I mentioned in a video that I flip through my binders and she asked if I could share that. These are my binders. I have 3 of these, and because I've been doing a little bit of fall sowing, I thought this would be a good time to share this system with you, because I have all this stuff that's out and needs to get refiled. Now, I've done this video before and I went looking for it to share it and I can't find it. So I thought I might as well just go ahead and record it again and show you guys how I store my seeds. So to make this easy, I'm going to keep everything zoomed in on the binders. You guys can hear me talking. You don't really need to see my face. Let me start by moving a couple of these pillows. Isn't that a cutie? I fell in love with that. Let's make some space. And we will get going. Okay, to start, what I do is I separate my seeds. I have a bean binder that has nothing but beans and peas. And my big binder is my general fruit and vegetable binder. And then I also have a flowers and herbs binder. And this is just to make it a little bit easier for myself when I am looking for something in particular. I'm not flipping through a giant binder full of stuff. And I just separate. In the beginning here, I have herbs. And they're stored basically in these 4 pocket plastic sheets. They're made for storing like trading cards and photos. So I just buy these and I stick them in there. What I like about these is for packets that are small seeds, I can do 2 different seeds in each pocket. One on the front and then one on the back. So it kind of stretches out my space for storage. But because things like beans are such large seeds, I kind of can only do 1 in a pocket. And that's because if I try to squeeze in 2, I don't know if you guys can see this, if I try to fit in 2 of these packets, it would just be too tight if I put 1 on the back side. So that's why the beans have their own binder. I do go in with some dividers and just to have some pockets so that for things that I know that I'm preparing to plant, I can just take them out and I can just drop them inside a pocket. I can make my notes. I can do any of that stuff and have that right at hand. And things that need to get refiled, I like to try to do it as soon as I'm done with the packet of seeds, but as you can see here, it just doesn't happen all the time, especially when I'm sowing lots of stuff. So I have all these seeds that are out that I just sowed a couple weeks ago, and I need to put them away. So let's get to it. I'll first go ahead and divide out my seeds that have to go in different pockets. Or I should say different binders. I got to take my glasses off so I can see. So I have golden butter wax beans that I just actually used today after church. I had to resow some. You guys may or may not have seen that little short. I've got okra, and I'll go ahead and sort these all out into piles. Beans, velour beans that need to go back, and then I have some brassicas that need to go back in here. Eastern Magic broccoli, Waltham 29, Premier Kale, a couple of broccolis, a cauliflower. This is a bok choy, collards, spring kale, flash collards, top chop collards, ching chang, some kale. I've got baby milk bok choy, Chinese cabbage here, a mustard, a broccoli, rutabaga, squash. Finally got something different. So I'm going to set all of these brassicas to the side so that I can get back to those. Over here I have a Helda bean. Got some lovage, so that's going to go in with the flowers and herbs. Feels like I've got 2 or 3 beans left in this butter wax. I've got nasturtiums that will go in the flowers and herbs binder. And those are some seed tapes. I'm not going to worry about those right now. I have some onions, more kale. Let's put that over there with the brassicas. Another cabbage. Have you guys tried this Charmant cabbage? This is the one this year that I'm really hoping for. I've never grown it before. It is a 66-day cabbage. Says that it's suited to close plantings. 3 to 4 pound blue-green heads, 6 to 8 inches across. So it's a small cabbage. Seems like it would be a good one for me if it will tolerate our weather. So I'm trying that one out. I've got some bunching onions that need to go back. Another cabbage. This is the Jersey Wakefield cabbage. This one I really like. I did have, I think, about 4 of these that actually survived the attack of the rats and then the early cold snap that came in that I didn't trust from the weatherman that took out a lot of my seedlings. I did happen to have about 4 of these that survived all of that. 3 of those died as the heat started to come in, and then the last surviving one started to head, and then we immediately went to like 99 degrees and it just quit. It didn't bolt, it just stopped growing. And then it eventually got eaten by aphids. Mustards, more rutabagas, eggplants. I think there should be 4 eggplants here. Got some turnips and some broccoli and some more okra. Where's okra? So the eggplants. All right. So I'm going to start with the big binder since I have it here. Hopefully you guys can see it. So, onions. I have 1 pack of onions here. I don't know why I only have 1 pack of onions, because I should have more. I know I had more out, but I've got a divider here specifically for the alliums, and I don't do anything alphabetical. I just sort according to the type of plant. So all the alliums here, and they're just in here. Sometimes I will try to group my bunching onions and my bulbing onions together so that if I know I'm looking for a particular one, I can just flip right to that. But I'm not usually that crazy about it. I basically just take out what I want, use it, and when I come back, I go back to the allium section and I will flip until I find a blank space, and I will just drop this one back in. Onion seeds are pretty small, so I do use both sides of the page so I can get 8 packs in each one. So I'm going to just take this one and I'm going to slide it here, right behind the Unzen flat onion. So there it is. Hopefully that's clear. I do think I see a little bit of a reflection, but you guys get the point. There's 4 pockets on each page and I double side them. So that's it for onions. Now I have a yellowfin zucchini in front of me. So I need to find my cucurbits. And here is the divider for the cucurbits. And of course I've got cucumbers in here. I've got melons in here. And I'll just flip until I get to the squashes. I do separate my winter squashes, the vining squashes, from my summer squashes. So I will flip until I find a spot. And those are still winter squashes. These are the start of the summer squashes, and I've got these 4 filled already. I do have one empty one here on the bottom, so I will put this one behind that one. And there it is. What this system does for me is makes it really, really easy. I can just kind of flip. And if there's a variety I'm looking for and I don't see it, then I know I need to order another pack of seeds. Now, there are some varieties that are kind of my favorites and the ones that I want to grow every year. And I will order multiple packs of those. And you will see that maybe. Probably not in this binder right now because I don't need my seed starter. I don't think I have anything that I have multiple packs of in here, but we definitely do have some multi-packs in the beans. So when we get to that one, I will show you that because, oh yeah, look at that. I actually have 2 packs that are out. Now, I probably went to the binder looking for this bean and didn't realize that I hadn't finished a pack. And so I grabbed the other one and they both ended up open, which is fine because for these, they're both from the same year. They were ordered together. So I'll just condense them. But I really don't have very many seeds left down to this little bit here and probably about 1 or 2 seeds in this pack. So it's no big deal. Typically, I don't like to open my seeds until I'm ready to start using them. But I'll get those put into the bean binder. Let's go ahead and find the brassicas. And this is our brassica section with a little divider that separates them. And for the brassicas, I do spend a little bit of time to separate them. Not completely in alphabetical order, but I do, kind of separate them. So first up, we have a blank page, and then we have broccoli. So more than likely, what this first page is empty for is because the bok choys are all gone. And I do have some that aren't technically bok choys, but I will put like all of my Chinese cabbages together with the bok choys. So my first one up, I have a broccoli. I'm going to go ahead and start putting in these broccolis. I'll separate these turnips and the rutabagas. And then I have mustards here, a few of those. And then I have some cabbage. And I have some kale. So it's just something that I came up with. I've seen a couple other people use binders, and I just kind of took from what they were doing and kind of made it my own system. It's really weird because I can be a little obsessive about certain things, and then other things not so much. There was a time that I really would have sat and put every single thing in alphabetical order. I'll tell you, sometimes I'm so bad that I will take money and put them in order by the serial numbers. Don't ask. But for some reason with the seeds, and I think it's probably because I'm constantly taking seeds out and putting them away, that I don't really make a whole fuss about putting them in alphabetical order. It's just not that serious. But if it's something that you feel like you need to do that's going to help you to organize your seeds and keep up with them, by all means, do it. If you have a large collection of seeds, you have to have some kind of system. Otherwise, you will go absolutely mad trying to keep up with them all. There's a couple of broccolis here. So I know I'm going to need some extras, so I'm going to go ahead and start doubling them up. And I don't think any of these have one on the back. No, they don't. So I'm going to just go ahead and start sliding these in behind. These are all broccolis. That's it. So it's not rocket science, y'all. It's just what works for me. And if I'm packing things up to go somewhere, I do take my seeds along, because when I'm helping someone else set up a garden, I do offer them seeds so that they're not investing a whole lot of money into something that may not even work. For my new gardeners that I like to get started, so I do offer them seeds. It's like, hey, flip through my binders, see if there's something that interests you. I got plenty of seeds. It's not going to hurt me to share. But that's the process. So I've got a collard that's floating there. Now I have a cauliflower. This is a cauliflower that came in my Haas Gardeners Club package for August. Cauliflower is not something that I typically eat. I will cook it because my son does enjoy it, but it's not something that I'm going out buying a pack of seeds for, because I'm not going to eat it. But because I have it, I now have to file it. So it will just get put in with the seeds, and I'll stick it here because I never really planned for it. I would typically give at least one page for one specific vegetable. So my broccoli has an entire page so that I can have, 8 or more, if I have to, broccoli types. My bok choy has a page. My collards had a page, but I am dedicating some space now for this one cauliflower. So I'm going to go ahead and get the collards in. Let's see how many I have. I think I only have 4. So I guess what I'm going to do is leave that cauliflower there. I was going to go ahead and just use the back side of this for collards. You know what? I think I will. That way the cauliflower stays by itself. If I happen to find another cauliflower, then they'll go right on the front side of the collards. And so now when I'm looking for collards, I'll go to the back of this page and they'll all be grouped together. Next thing I have looks like kales, and I do tend to keep lots of kale. This is a lacinato that came in my Haas grouping. And I do have a lacinato kale already. Instead of taking up a space for the same kale, I am going to file it behind that pack. And I'm going to just double check because I think I may have another one. Yes, I do. So this is my open pack of lacinato kale. And I now have 3 lacinato kale packs that were packed for 2025. So it's not really a use up the oldest ones first kind of thing. It's just grab the next pack and open it up. So you'll see here with these small packs, I'm going to actually put this one in front so that it won't get lost because the envelope is actually a little bit shorter. With these small seeds, you can fit more than 2 in a pocket. So I'm going to just slide that in there because that's all of the lacinato kale. What I don't want to happen is the bean fiasco where I'm opening up multiple packets of the same type seeds. So I have a red boar kale. That's a turnip. Why is this here? I have a red boar kale and I have a spring kale, and I'm going to just slide those into these little pockets. Next, I have mustards. Red Giant, I have a packet that's already open, and then I have another packet that's already in the file. So I'm going to just put this with that. I want to make sure that it's all the way in there so the seeds aren't falling out. And then I have a Southern Pearl Giant. And a Florida Broadleaf. The Florida Broadleaf is by far my favorite of the mustards. I found something here that's missing. Got the cauliflower. I got some cabbage down here that needs to be filed away. And theoretically, it should be before the collards. I don't care. It's with the C's, and I know I have cabbage, and I'll find it. Okay. Got some more Sui choy, and I got another cabbage there. Somehow or another, I did not group these properly. But it's okay, y'all, because when you have a binder, you just flip, and it's this easy. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these filed away. You will see the switching of the binders. You guys don't need to hear me explain how I'm putting these in. It just is what it is. That's my system. So I'm going to finish filing these away, and I'll come back and do a little closing for you. Baker Creek packs are the biggest packs that I ever get. They can be a little bit of a challenge to get into the pockets, but you can see they do fit. I got a pack of amaranth seeds for free from Baker Creek, and I am going to file this with the brassicas because the leaves are eaten like the brassicas are eaten. I don't see any reason to go make a new category for them. I'm going to just stick them in. Even though they aren't a brassica, I'm going to stick them with brassicas. I also have spinach somewhere else, and I'm not sure if it's in my herb file or if it's here. I think it may be here, and I'm going to look for them. I'll stick amaranth with those ones. Carrots and celery, parsnips and radishes. This one is the nightshades. So my peppers, my eggplants, and of course my tomatoes. Spinach is here, filed with chard. Let me see if I can pack it up a bit. There's a lot of seeds in this. Now let me just go through here. These are a bunch of flowers and herbs. And I got a couple of fruit things. I need to make sure that I got them out. I doubt that this tomato is going to grow for me. But I have nothing to lose, so I'm definitely going to try growing it. The bean binder is separated by vining and bush beans, and then it's also separated into peas within the two categories. So that's some things I need to show you. I'm not going to put those away because these are the two types that I took out to plant in the front. All right, let's make some sense of these beans. This one doesn't say. I'm assuming it's a bush. It is a soybean. It doesn't say whether it's a bush or if it's a polling type. So I'm going to put it with the bush beans. I love my favorite. These are both Desperados, and there's only a few beans left in that Bowls pack. Taking the beans size so that it will be easier.
No way.
overboard with the new basils. So I've got to add a couple pages. So that's it, y'all. That is my system for storing my seeds. It works for me. I know a lot of people like the photo boxes that you can get at Michael's because they've got color-coded inserts into a big box and they can just pull out a box of something. That's an awesome system too. I just know for me, if I take those little boxes out, those little boxes are going to go missing. I'm going to take them out. I'm going to go out into the garden, or I'm going to go out on the lanai. I'm going to start opening up things, and I'm going to sit that down, and it's going to get covered up somewhere, and I'm never going to find it. At least not when I need it. I'll eventually find it, but the seeds will have been put somewhere else by the time I find it. It's just what works best for me. So everybody's got a different way of doing it. Some people just throw them all in a box. Some people just put them in a Ziploc bag. If that works for you, go for it. Find the system that works the best for you and just do that. No one can tell you that your system is wrong. No one can say that their system is better. It's a personal thing. And if you're a person like me, which you probably are, because I think almost every gardener becomes a seed ordering addict at some point in their gardening career. And you're going to need to do something with those seeds. Don't lose them. You spend good money for them. They're good for many, many years beyond what's stamped on the package. So find a way to store them and keep them dry and cool and safe, and you'll be a great gardener. I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Let me know how you store your seeds. I'm always interested in seeing what other people do. I might incorporate a little bit of what you do. Or maybe not. We'll see what happens. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.